Attach the MagnaFlow assembly into the sanitary ports using the clamp and gasket as shown. To prepare the filter cartridges, first thread the filter cartridge adapter onto the ports, hand tight. It is recommended to apply some anti-seize onto metal threads to avoid any threaded connections to lock up. Make sure the O-ring is attached and in place. Insert the filter cartridge onto the end cap nozzle and line up the threads. Use one hand to hold the end cap in place and the other hand to thread on the assembly from the other side. Tighten the filter assembly snug but not too tight to avoid damage to the filters. Wiggle the filter end to check for tightness. Once the filter is secure, attach the MagnaFlow assembly. Clamp the blowback end in place first. Rotate the stainless steel elbow in place by loosening the sanitary clamp and twisting until set. Make sure that there is a gasket in place. Tighten both clamps. Repeat these steps for the other filter. Tighten the filter. Clamp the end. Rotate the stainless steel elbow and clamp it down. For the inflatable seal, insert the connection on the seal facing up into the supply gas port. It is suggested that you locate the port with your finger before attachment. Make sure the connection is successful before tucking the seal fully into place. Connecting the separation plenum requires two large clamps to be set in place. Set one large clamp at the top and one large clamp at the bottom, as shown. Place the hinge of the collection cone on the hook at the base of the separation plenum and let the cone rest there. Place the gasket on the seal of the collection cone. Raise the collection cone to the sanitary connection and hold it in place to keep flush while clamping it to the separation plenum. It is important to maintain pressure on the cone toward the plenum to help pull the clamp closed. Using your knee as shown or having someone assist for this step can be helpful. Place the collection valve at the bottom of the collection cone. Before attaching the collection jar adapter, make sure to install the O-ring as shown. Once the O-ring is attached, clamp the adapter to the bottom of the valve. Make sure that the orientation is correct, making the product blanketing connection in a convenient location relative to the machine. Thread in the collection jar to the bottle adapter. Connect the product blanketing line carefully. Properly install your tubing into the feedstock pump as shown. Back at the top of the separation plenum, place the gasket and filter shield. It is important to install the shield with proper orientation relative to the temperature probe. Insert and slide the temperature probe to ensure proper alignment before clamping into place. Fully thread the product temperature probe using a wrench. Place the chamber gasket and then set the chamber into position. You can push the plenum into position carefully. Install the lid gasket into grooves on the lid. Place the lid clamp over the lid. Put the lid assembly on top of the chamber and line up the inlet connection to clamp into position. Clamp down into position as shown. Attach the rods onto the lid Assembly of the nozzle. Take your nozzle liquid tube and slide it into the nozzle body. After securing the tube, place your liquid tip with O-ring at the end. It is recommended to use food-grade lubricant for the O-rings in the nozzle assembly. Place the air cap over the liquid tip and secure the assembly by threading the nozzle cap into position until hand tight. To place the nozzle into the lid, make sure there's a gasket and orient the nozzle into position as shown. Tighten the clamp. Now attach your atomizing air into the nozzle. Take your electrostatic connection and snap that into place as shown. Connect the feedstock line at the top of the nozzle. It is common that there is excess slack in the feedstock line, and it is recommended that you tuck it between the lid clamp rod and the chamber for support.